Beach Invasion 1945 Pacific. Is it going to be a win or a bin? Let's have a quick read through of the description on Steam. Beach Invasion 1945 Pacific is a World War II first-person shooter game where players defend fortified Pacific Island beaches from invading armies of troops, tanks and planes. Use iconic Japanese and American World War II weapons and prepare your defenses with mines, explosives and bonuses. This is a sequel to Beach Invasion 1944, which I didn't review or anything like that. So I don't know what the old one was like in terms of any good or not, but this is the one I'll be going through today. Okay then, so in this game it's all about waves. Now there's actually a couple of different modes, so let's actually start there. So you can do a story mode, should we say, which is you progressing through different waves. As things get harder on each level, you unlock more things, but you have more enemy soldiers attack you. Or the sandbox, which is just literally have all of the weapons unlocked and shoot whatever you want. And there is going to be an online mode as well as co-op, in terms of co-op online. That's currently not going to work because the game's not out, so I can't try that, unfortunately, but that may or may not be okay. So you take up position with either the Japanese or the American armies. You're static. You can initially start as the game begins with a couple of different weapons that you can flick through using your numbers on the keyboard, and then you just literally take aim and shoot anyone who comes on the beach. It starts off really easy, maybe 5 or 6 to begin with, and as you progress through the next levels, you unlock more and more weapons. You can spend the points you earn on fortifying the beach with mines or repairing your damaged guns, because as the enemies come to the beach, they will shoot at you and your weaponry, and that gets damaged, and if it gets too damaged, you simply can't use it. So there's things in between the different steps or the different missions and levels, and not really missions because you do the same thing every single time. So the things I do like, it's an interesting theatre of war. The Pacific battles themselves, although you don't really get to, well, you don't get to move around at all. In fact, you are static, you don't move. There's no real exploration of the environments or anything like that, but the theatre of war itself that they've gone for here is an interesting idea. It's going to be fun if you just like shooting things in games. If you like experimenting with different types of weapons like anti-aircraft guns, tanks, heavy old artillery, machine guns, it's all there for you. And they sound cool, and the effects are quite good, I guess, from a gunplay perspective. So I think you'd like it, perhaps, for a short while, because it does become a bit samey. However, if you like just shooting things, you probably have a bit of fun with it. Unfortunately, that's where the positives end for me, so I'm going to move on to the not-so-goods now. Now, something that just bugs me the whole time, because this is very imperative to the gameplay, is the options menu. Now, time after time, it kept resetting itself. So you go into there, and the things which I found reset themselves are the volumes, which are really important, because I found so many times when I started a new wave, the sound would be non-existent or the sound effects wouldn't be there. And there's an effect in this called grain effect. So you can play it with grain effect, which gives it like this old style vintage graphical look about it, you know, a bit more pixelated if you want to do it like that. You can switch that on or off, and I found by doing that it actually changes the volume as well. So you change the grain setting and then your volume just gets switched off, and it's broken. It's not just me, because it happened several times, so I didn't just accidentally click something once and I noticed it and complained about it. It was constant, and it was really irritating. And sometimes it didn't even change because I went into the options menu. It just changed itself whilst I was playing the game and in between waves. So yeah, it's broken there, so that does need to be resolved when this game does come out. Another negative is actually going to sound a little bit strange, but the dark in this game is too dark. So if you are trying to watch the enemy land on the beach and shoot at them, and you're doing it at night, it's pitch black. You literally can't see anything. Occasionally the beach will get lit up by some flares or something, but for the most part, if it's pitch black for that whole wave. And I think on one particular occasion, I literally just started shooting into the darkness and hope I hit things, and eventually I did complete the level. And yeah, it's too dark. If you're going to have nighttime stuff, you have to at least make it a little bit lighter so you can actually see something rather than just pitch black, or have it light up more frequently through flares so you can see even momentarily. It didn't seem consistent enough. And the main negative point here for me is how extremely repetitive this is. And I got bored so quickly. I played as the Americans and the Japanese just to see if there was some sort of variation. But it's just boring. Once you unlock some of the weapons, you just get the idea. And for me, I just got bored within 20 minutes or so, and I was like, well, this is just literally repeating and repeating and repeating. And yeah, it had a bit of fun at the beginning. I had a bit of fun with it in the beginning, even just shooting things, but there's no real challenge to this, or goal, or reward, or anything. It's just a bit of a dull game. I don't know how they can improve on that, and maybe if they allowed you to move around rather than be in your fixed position, have certain specific objectives. I don't know, but I'm bored, and unfortunately, I cannot recommend this game.